Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Medford Police Chief Tim George. Tim, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us, what is the state of the city, if you will?
Well, Medford's a great place to live, and it's a great place to be. We certainly have challenges like any other municipality does, but I still, one of my bylines is, if you're lucky enough to live in Medford, you're lucky enough. We're holding our own, number one, and number two, as far as the police department goes, we're in a bit of a transition because we are seeing a change in our workforce. People are retiring, people are leaving at the end of their careers, and we're hiring a lot more people at the start of their career, obviously, and so that's a challenge for us, one, to that process to hire someone, to pick the right people, to get those right people trained, and then to get those people into the workforce and mentor them along.
Sure.
Till they become viable, productive members of our agency.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you've been on the job now for 10 months, and it's been a whirlwind 10 months. From my perspective, I can only imagine what it's been like for you. How are you holding up? A lot of violence these last 10 months.
I'm doing fine. I mean, there are times when I worry about our individuals, but we do our best work under stress. Obviously, there's been some things happen in the last 10 months that have been unprecedented as far as the types of crimes, the type of violence, the use of force issues, the incredible increase in narcotic activity. I mean, some of the seizures that we make now and some of the cases that you see them across are just, they're hard to imagine. Mm-hmm. I mean, the largest heroin seizure in the history of the state of Oregon occurred in Medford.
Yeah.
Not to mention back-to-back with some of the largest methamphetamine seizures we've ever seen. It used to be that an ounce of methamphetamine was a pretty substantial case. It's not a substantial case now unless it's pounds or multiple pounds of methamphetamine. So when you look at that, and in addition to the incredible amount of marijuana that's in the marketplace, drug enforcement takes up a big part of our day, mm-hmm. and the mental health calls for service. Those have grown by incredible numbers, and those are the cases that really create the largest amount of risk to our personnel and even to the public, because those people are in mental health crisis, they're unstable, there's no room at the inn, so there's a lot of variables that play into that as far as what services are available for those folks, and we're seeing a lot of repeat contacts, mm-hmm. repeat occurrences, and so those cases alone are taxing, so we are not hurting for work.
Right.
We're plenty busy, and like I said, we're hiring a lot of new people, and so the learning curve and the mentoring that is required and the training that's required, it's one thing that we cannot afford to do right now would be to cut any kind of training, because now more than ever, training's the most important thing that we're doing because of the age of our workforce and the inexperience of the people that are coming into the workforce.
Yeah, okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. Much more with Chief George in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Medford Police Chief Tim George. Been on the job 10 months, as we talked about, really violent 10 months. Has your perspective, your individual perspective, changed?
I don't think my individual perspective changed. I don't think my work ethic has changed. There's certainly more of an appreciation for all of the other departments that work in the city of Medford, because now I'm having a lot more contact with our department heads and a lot more face time with council, and the amount of energy and effort that goes into the day-to-day workings of that, I've certainly grown for an appreciation of that. Mm-hmm. We're going to get a new city manager here pretty soon, so I'm going to have another boss, so that'll be exciting. But the certainly more exposure to more workings of city government, because as a deputy chief and all the other positions I had below that or prior to that, were more nuts and bolts police work, and this is a little bit different level. It's taken me I wouldn't say a step above that, but a different step to see the city workings as a whole. And there's a lot of good, strong, hard-working people that do a lot of stuff for the city, and we can be darn proud of that.
Mm-hmm. Great to hear. All right, so you talked about working with city council, and I know some of you've been looking at a new police headquarters. What is the status of that?
Well, again, we've been temporarily in City Hall since 1968, so that was even before my time.
Temporarily.
I came in 77, so 35 years ago. Again, it was temporary. Don't get too comfortable, because we're not going to be here very long.
Yeah, no worries.
So we've been here a long time. And again, myself and Brian Shoten from Parks did presentations in front of the council after the bond survey came through, and I didn't want to say no, but it's not time yet for us for a number of reasons. I think the economic climate is one. Two, in the bond survey through CDRI out of Portland, our numbers weren't high enough to be successful or to guarantee some measure of success in that. And it's not a good idea to take these things out just for a trial run or take a shot at it if you're not assured you're going to have a strong chance of being victorious in a bond survey. You want to see it through. And we don't have the steering committee, we don't have a site selection, we don't have the nuts and bolts that we need to have at this point. I'm not giving up by any stretch of the imagination. We need a new building, and I'm going to stay on until that happens. So I may be here when I'm 70, but I'm going to stay on here until it happens.
So ask for, is it too early to ask for a prediction, a timeline, next couple of years?
We're going to come back to the council in 6 months with a better game plan. We need a steering committee. We need to do some more work on the inside to do some more vetting of places and prices and where we actually sit. And we've done some more field trips to look at what other communities have done. But we need a space. We're sitting in about 13,000 square feet for 140 employees. We need about 35,000 to 40,000 square feet to be at par with most other jurisdictions. It'll make us better. It'll make us more efficient. It will help us do a better job of providing the service to the community, and that's what we're trying to do. Nice. We want to do a better job, and we want that hospital theory where people should be able to say, that's where the police department is, and that's where I can go to get help.
Excellent.
All right.
Chief, good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.